Good to see you this Wednesday afternoon, and we are starting to see big flakes starting to come down across the Triad after keeping our eyes to the sky for this weather impact alert day throughout the day today. The reason being why we weren't able to see that snow make it all the way down to the surface to begin with these last couple of hours is because there was a dry air mass kind of sitting over our area. As the snow tried to fall, it actually dissipated before making it all the way down to the surface. But we are now seeing a little bit more bigger flakes come down across portions of the Piedmont. Here's that storm in its entirety, bringing lots of rain to portions here of the southeast, like right here in Georgia and in South Carolina. But you could see that little bit of a freezing line right here, a little bit more mixing in portions of eastern North Carolina. But for us in the Triad, let's zoom in just a little bit. You could start to see rounds of snow starting to make their way in across the area. There could even be a couple of dry slots, so if you're not seeing anything for right now, you probably will here in the next couple of hours as more moisture continues to make rounds toward the Triad these next couple of hours. The darker blues kind of indicate a little bit of a heavier snow across the area, and you can even see that mixing here in the purplish and pinks here, as you can see in portions of eastern North Carolina. So right now in the Triad, more snow again starting to kind of fill in some of those drier gaps too and overcome that dry air that I mentioned just a couple of seconds ago, and you can see more on the way these next couple of hours. So again, winter storm warning in effect for portions of eastern North Carolina again, and including some of central North Carolina. But for us here in the Triad, winter weather advisory for the majority of us all the way until Thursday at around 1 o'clock, continuing into tomorrow morning through the early afternoon until 1, just because we could see a little bit of another burst of potential snow throughout the early morning hours. And that is something to keep in mind, of course, heading into the day tomorrow. We could see a couple more slick spots with a couple more isolated showers bringing in maybe a couple little snow showers into the morning and early afternoon. So winter storm warning for portions here in northern Greensboro all the way down into central Raleigh. Continuing to watch those weather alerts. Temperatures right now great for snowfall. I will say that, all below freezing, mid to upper 20s at best, around 31 in Lexington here in Davidson County, 30 in Asheboro, 25 in Greensboro, 26 right now in Reedsville. Dew points earlier on today, I mentioned that drier air, they were in the single digits. The snowflakes had to work extra hard to make it all the way down to the surface, and now they're slowly starting to creep up now into the upper teens and lower 20s, making it pretty much not quite as dry, but making it less dry so the snow is able to make it all the way down to the surface. So that snow again starting here just within the last couple of hours. Roads could be slick here just heading into this early afternoon, and especially by the evening with temperatures expected to stay below freezing. We're expecting up to around an inch or two for most, and also a little bit more of an icy mix south of I-40. We're keeping eyes on that for right now. Just a lot of snow kind of mixing in across the area. Slippery travel could very well impact your plans into Thursday. It's also just going to be very cold, not only today, but also into the day tomorrow for all of your plans. So this is just the time to make sure that, you kind of have a plan for yourself and your travel plans heading into today and into tomorrow. So our weather impact alert, it spans from this morning all the way until Thursday morning. Snow at times, it's going to be off and on. Slick roads are also going to be quite dangerous heading into this afternoon, especially by the evening and into the day tomorrow. Make sure you're taking it slow, of course, avoiding travel if at all possible, and also making sure you're layering up these next couple of days. Even a little bit of power outages I wouldn't be too shocked to see, especially in portions of central North Carolina where you get a little bit more mixing in the atmosphere. When you introduce warm air into a kind of a profile where you just have snow, you can start to see a more freezing rain and sleet, which can take down tree limbs, thus taking down power lines, etc. So we'll continue to keep eyes on that as well and show you where that mixing line is. Snowflakes right now just sit in within the last 15 to 20 minutes in Winston-Salem. You can see it's starting to try to coat some of the grounds here. Beautiful sight here right now. This was sent in by Jamie. You can see it also on the chair and on the table too, but it is just coming down right now in Greensboro. Big flakes. We're at around 25 degrees with winds out of the northeast around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Feels like we are in the teens outside right now. Dew points not quite as dry as they were before, allowing that snow to reach all the way down to the surface. A beautiful sight right now across Greensboro and just overall the Triad too. Forecast planner these next several hours. Again, slick roads going to become possible just within the next couple hours as the snow continues to come down. down, I'm expecting us to stay in the 20s. I wanted to note though, by around 5 or 6 o'clock, that's when we're going to start to see a little bit more dry air kind of come in behind this moisture. But there is another possibility that we could be seeing another round of moisture into early tomorrow morning that could bring in a couple more isolated snow showers. And here it is right now on the timeline. This afternoon, again, snow getting a little bit steadier as we've seen just within the last hour or so. Roads could even get pretty slippery overnight heading into Wednesday night. Tonight, snow is going to start to end. Roads are going to be remaining slick, so make sure you're taking it slow, not traveling unless you absolutely have to. Into tomorrow morning, a morning snow burst is going to be possible. This could lead to a little bit of accumulation on top of what we're expected to get for this afternoon, but I'm not expecting too much considering the isolated showers in the morning aren't expected to last very long. If anything, there's just going to be a quick burst initially into the morning hours. So what's the weather impact? Again, snow starting. It has started these last couple of hours into tomorrow morning. Slick roads going to be likely into the day tomorrow. Roads slowly are going to improve into tomorrow night with sunshine back into the forecast. So this is the latest snow forecast. We've kind of had to fine tune the forecast these last couple of days tracking this system. As you can see in this kind of like cyan sky blue type color, this is 1 to 2 inches of snow that we are kind of expecting to tally over the next couple of hours, and even including tomorrow early morning with that isolated brief burst of snow possible. The higher tallies, of course, are going to be to our east and also toward the north. That's where we're going to be seeing up to around 2 to 5 inches of snow. As you move east, the greater possibility of seeing more snow is going to increase. However, toward the south, that's where you're not going to be seeing quite as much with that warmer air and a little bit more dry air kind of sticking around across the area. Freezing rain, like I mentioned, with the possibility of those power lines becoming a little bit more of a problem with the tree limbs and all of that jazz. That is going to stay to our south, and of course in portions of central North Carolina. A very slight chance here in Montgomery and Randolph County that they could see just a little bit on top of the snow, but the majority of us here in the Triad will continue to see mainly just dry snow across the area into tonight and into tomorrow. This is one actual graphic here showing us one model, what we could see into early tomorrow morning by around 1 o'clock when that winter advisory is going to be over for our area. This model here is showing us up to around 1.5 inches or so, some places all the way up to around 1 inch, with more as expected in portions of central North Carolina, like here in Raleigh, almost at 2 inches, 1.5 in Hendersonville, 1.1 there in Durham. This could change, of course. This is just one model's opinion, and we'll continue to keep you updated on what you can expect. Blowing Rock, though, also seeing tons of snow showers across the area, as you can see on the side of the roads. Some slick roads going to be likely for our NC mountains. We're in the mid to upper 20s there. Beach Mountain visibility is low. As you can see, a lot of people still out on the slopes right behind me, starting to make their way down the mountain. Be careful if you're out there heading into tonight and also into tomorrow. Temperatures and feels like mid to upper 20s, but feeling like we are in the teens with the snow coming down. Feels like 14 degrees in Greensboro, feels like 17 in Winston-Salem, 19 in Burlington. And this is the system that's going to kind of continue to make its way from our south, wiggle that moisture to our north. That cold air has been kind of put in place by high pressure to our north. That's keeping us nice and cool, allowing that snowfall to make it all the way down to the surface. However, following this system, it's going to be mainly dry conditions by around, as I said, 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. We're starting to see less and less rounds of snow, maybe 1 or 2 quick bursts of snow into early tomorrow morning by around 8 or 9 o'clock. But following that, high pressure to our west is going to be building into the area. That's going to allow for lots and lots of sunshine heading into Thursday night and also into the day on Friday. A closer look at the futurecast heading into this afternoon. Again, rounds of snow going to be likely through around 5 or 6 o'clock, starting to dry out a bit into the night tonight. We're still going to stay below freezing, so that's going to be the time to really watch out if you are going to be driving for those slick spots. Again, it doesn't take much. It just takes one spot for you to lose control. Into tomorrow morning, we're still going to be in the mid to upper 20s across the region. There's that initial brief burst of snow that is going to be possible into tomorrow morning by around 8 to 10 o'clock. Following it, though, we're starting to see much more sunshine across the area with the system eventually moving offshore and away from the region, but it's still going to be a very cold day. You can see those wind barbs coming in. I'm only expecting us to stay in the lower 30s for the afternoon high for tomorrow, despite more sunshine on the way. But that weather impact alert is going to be over by around midday behind that initial next set of possible bursts of snow for the morning hours. 7-day forecast, again, very cold heading into these next couple of days. clearing into tomorrow morning behind that initial burst of snow. By Friday, though, it's going to be nice and dry. Lots of sunshine with a high around 40 degrees, a little bit warmer than what we saw for what we're going to be seeing for the day today and into tomorrow. Heading into the weekend, mid to upper 40s, lower 50s and 60s are even in sight heading into next week.